man is in custody after police say he was apparently, well, driving way too fast up in the Northeast, probably street racing. This was on Tuesday, and struck and killed a man who was just simply crossing the street.
And this comes nearly a year after the suspect was arrested for allegedly inciting a riot in Old City. So Philadelphia leaders now say it's time to focus more on car meetups and also drag racing.
Yes, our district attorney, Larry Krasner, joins us now in studio. The incident from a year ago, didn't that happen right outside of our TV station here at 4th and Market? That was one of the car meetups.
That particular incident did not, and good morning, by the way.
Morning.
That particular one did not, but the prior case involving this defendant was one where he was at a meetup, there was drifting activity going on, and he was essentially on a megaphone inciting the crowd to do this activity and then to throw things at police when they showed up, and that's why he was charged with riot.
We had one right outside of our studio, I think, on that same night. But they've been all over the city.
They certainly have been, and it's difficult because, as you can see this video here, it's nighttime. There's a whole crowd of people, and so the question becomes, how do you catch these folks? How do you stop it?
So the answer to that is we work together, which we've actually been doing for some time, but we do it with modern technology, and we use modern enforcement techniques. You know, part of this is things like 200 new license plate readers that are going to be available in Philly. They haven't been used terribly well in the past, but this technology has evolved. Having 200 instead of 25, and then fewer than that when they fell into disrepair, will make a big difference. But that is really only one of several types of modern technology that can be used, and we all need to work together to use them.
So they're not in place yet?
They are not fully in place yet, no.
Yeah, okay.
And then they'll have to be on the officers. We'll make sure we have enough staffing when it comes to officers, right, to have the license plate users in order to use them.
Yes, but understand this is really only one of several techniques. It is possible under current law to get a warrant to put a tracker on a car as long as you have probable cause. It is possible to do wiretaps. This is a group of people whose organizers are using social media, they're using codes, they are using all kinds of communication devices. We have to go where they are in order to catch them. I've had this discussion with the commissioner. I know the PPD works hard with the toolkit they have now, but we need to work with them to have a better toolkit, and then I think we'll do better at deterring this behavior.
The police, when they get in, they're so outnumbered. I guess if there was trackers and stuff like that, you could go pick them up at their residence or something. The thing that happened on Tuesday, D.A. Krasner, they caught that guy over in South Jersey. Is that where they got him?
Yeah, this is a situation where not only was it street racing at 60 to 70 miles an hour at the point where this individual struck and killed a pedestrian, but he then led police on a merry chase into New Jersey at speeds that went up to 100 to 130 miles per hour on streets. He eventually crashed the vehicle in Pensacola and was caught there. You know, Fast and Furious is a movie. It is not a lifestyle. It is not something that we can do. This is not a video game. We do not have empty streets. We have moms and we have children and we have people there who deserve to live in safety. People who engage in this activity need to be caught. They are organizing by means that are technological, and they need to be taken down by means that are technological.
And isn't it more than just being caught? It's also the consequences, right? And I mean, isn't there some things in the works to increase fines or increase those consequences when they are caught?
Well, I can tell you that this individual is facing third-degree murder charges, which, you know, of course, call for decades in jail. So when the outcome is pretty terrible, the consequences are also very severe.
But we hope it doesn't get to that. If someone's going to be caught just for street racing and hopefully it doesn't end in someone dying, what about the consequences for that?
They can be very severe, and in my opinion, they should be. This is incredibly dangerous activity, and it has to be treated as such.
I'm going to sound like an old man, because I am an old man. But, you know, it's get off my lawn. Constant dirt bikes, like 50, 60, 70, all bunched together, going up and down Broad Street and the Ben Franklin Parkway. How do you stop that?
Well, in many ways, it's really the same issue. The issue is that police learned long ago, and they were correct, that you can't just engage in high-speed chases in the middle of an urban environment. You're going to hurt more people than you help by doing so. So they are doing the right thing by not taking those extraordinary risks. You can't even just block a street when it comes to dirt bikes, because those dirt bikes can go over police vehicles. They can go up on sidewalks. They can go over dirt. So it's a situation in which they have to work with the tools they have. But the tools are not just chasing. They are not just blocking. The tools have to be technological tools that allow us to take them down. They're organized, and this is how you take down organized criminal activity.
Hey, before we go, we've been asking this question back and forth.
Between the police commissioner, Outlaw.
The Eddie Irizarry case, the man who was shot and killed by a police officer in Philadelphia. So many people want to see the camera footage from the police officer's perspective. What do they call it?
Body camera.
Body camera footage. Who decides if that can be released? Is it a police commissioner or is it you?
So there's no question that that video is going to be available to the public. The question really comes down to timing. We are in the middle of doing what we hope is a truly independent, balanced, fair investigation. And sometimes when you release information to the public at the wrong time, you can end up with phony witnesses. People who watch the video and now they're going to say, well, actually, you can't see me, but my head was poked around the corner and I saw the following. So this is why, in order to protect the integrity of an independent investigation, the timing is important. I will tell you that we have been in steady contact with the Irizarry family through their legal representative, that we expect to have a face-to-face meeting in the near future. And, you know, there may be some things that we are willing to do privately because it will not taint an investigation with phony witnesses that we're not willing yet to do publicly. But that video will be available to the public at the appropriate time. It should be. We have to be transparent. We also, however, have to make sure that our investigation is completed with integrity, and that means not putting stuff out there too soon.
Well, we know that every investigation, of course, is its own and it's unique, but can you help at least the community to understand why, in some cases we've seen in other situations where the body camera footage seems to be released relatively quickly versus others where it is not? And I think that's probably why folks are calling for it, because they see in other cities or in other places it seems to come out pretty quickly.
Well, and recently a couple other cities did it in 24 hours. But
well, you know, I guess it depends on the individual case. There are cases where there's a greater danger of releasing the video in a way that is going to result in false investigative leads or false information. It sometimes has to do with how many people were out there. Is this a dense residential area where there are a lot of people? And that's really just one factor.
so so you do have to meet with the police commissioner and decide, okay, well, what are we going to do? I never have heard a decision of who trumps the other person. Can you trump the commissioner?
For releasing body camera?
For releasing it.
Well, we don't trump each other. The police commissioner is the one who makes decisions about whether to discipline, to hire, or fire.
Right.
That is the commissioner's lane. They make recommendations to us about what to charge, but what we charge or don't charge is our lane. And I think she respects our lane, and I think that we respect her lane. When it comes to the video, there are a lot of factors in play. One of the factors is the wishes of the family. And as I said, we are in contact with them. Sometimes they want part of a video release. Sometimes they don't want all of a video released. Other issues have to do with whether or not you're going to be sparking up unrest. And if so, what's your timing? What's the context? Obviously, the public deserves to know, and they should know, at least the vast majority of this video.
You would factor that in. If it's really bad, it might spark unrest.
You would factor in how it is released. You would never deny the truth to the public, because that's just wrong. But you would factor in how it is released and when it is released with those things in mind. It just makes sense. You may recall in the Walter Wallace case, the family of Mr. Wallace came out and told the public, we do not want broken plate glass windows. We do not want people blocking traffic. We want peace.
I got you.
Except in this one, we do have footage, surveillance footage from a home that shows that was released and put out. Of course, that wasn't from you guys. That was from the attorney. So I wonder if that made a difference then when it comes to the investigation.
You know, what a private attorney does in terms of obtaining their own evidence and put it out there might be wise, might be unwise, but we can't control that. What we can control is the information that flows through law enforcement. And yes, this will all be public, and it will all be public in the relatively near future.
Would you say this is wise or unwise to release that porch video?
I would say that that depends on what it is the family is trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
You know, I think their releasing it was something they felt was appropriate. It certainly didn't change our situation a whole lot, because the quality of video that we have, frankly, is a lot clearer, than what was there. So I'm not going to comment on whether Mr. Johnson should or shouldn't have done that. The family felt they needed to do it for reasons, I think, relating to some of the earlier commentary about the case. But I can tell you that we're within our domain, we're going to try to do the right thing.
Okay.
All right. District Attorney Larry Krasner.
Thanks for coming in.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.